Alrighty folks, let's get started with the session. Just making sure everything's working okay here on my end. Just bear with me for 1 second. Looks like we are good to go. Yep. Alrighty. Just refresh that one just to be sure. Yep, we're good to go. My camera, here we go. Hello everybody, again. From the morning session today. Now we're gonna go ahead and get that disclaimer going again for you. We're doing the futures now intraday trading session today. Again, my name is Bojan Petreski, go by Bo, easiest to remember. Today again is June 29, 2021, and bojan@tradictive.com is my email address where you could send any questions, comments, or concerns or suggestions that you want to make for our channel. All right, let's take a look at the agenda that we got going on for today. So we are simulcasting. That means that we do have multiple streams going on at the same time, meaning on YouTube, Facebook, to be coming soon to LinkedIn, as well as the one that we have on our own website, which is the Vimeo private stream, which if you are a member of our any of our services, please definitely use that private stream, as that one will go on for the full length of the session versus the other public streams where we're going to shut them down after we take a trade or two, depending on how the day is going on. As you've seen before, sometimes we just have close to no activity, sometimes we have plenty. All right, so let's go ahead and go through this. So we're going to take a look at, looking at the market environment. We're going to take a look at some of the closed trades we've had, some of the open trades that we have going on, which is, as of right now that we don't have any. And then, of course, we're going to look for new opportunities to identify and plan so that we could see if we can get some trades put together. All right, I'm just default view. There it is. Okay. Everything is looking good. All right, no comments, no questions in the chat, so we're good to go. All right, let's open this up here. Where did I go? There we go. All right, so we had, from the last time that we met, which was actually about 2 weeks ago on the 15th, we had, basically we had 2 trades that we looked at. The first one was a crude oil setup, right there. So that was the setup. This was the exit. All right. So for crude oil, for this setup, we did something a little bit more advanced, which we did continue over in the private session. Which essentially speaking, it was the same trade that we took twice. But except, we didn't end up paying for commissions twice, right? So we took the trade, the UFO was still valid, and time and trade would have taken us out right here for either a small, break-even trade, or maybe a couple bucks in profit, a couple bucks in a loss, depending on how lucky you got whenever you hit the close button. And then instead of reopening the trade right here and then getting stopped out and then paying commissions twice, we ended up paying commissions once and then got stopped out. So that was the crude oil trade. Now for where's the gold setup that we did have? Okay, so we did have a setup on gold. 1863.1 was the entry point, but unfortunately this one ended up just overplaying, to the extent of the session. We did not get filled on it. It kept moving lower and lower, so that one we did not get a fill on, if I'm not mistaken. At least I'm pretty sure that was the case. Otherwise, I would have saved that we got filled and whatever the result was. Okay, so that's that for previous trades. Let's go ahead and open our workspace here. All right. And get started with some sessions. If there's any questions or comments on the, last 2 weeks ago, the session from 2 weeks ago, please feel free to type them in the chat. I'll definitely be able to get any questions answered. All right, and let's go. Oh, I thought I was already opening this. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. Let's see what we're gonna have in front of us today. All right. So as you know, we trade a very strict and permission-based type of system. We don't just kind of wing it, so to speak, as I know many people do. We're gonna look at some different conditions of the market. We're gonna try to essentially not try to. We're going to be entering trades only that permit us to enter into. We're not going to be forcing any trades or trying to hop on a bus that might have already left. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here, right there. All right, we're going to see that we do have, we're looking at the climates up top. We need to know if they are confirmed or not, right? A blue climate means it's a confirmed up climate. A red square means it's a confirmed down climate. A gray one, right? A gray box, we simply ignore. Okay, the reason why we ignore it is because it is not confirmed, right? So we need to be going in with a confirmed climate. The next thing that we want to look at is what is the condition of that climate? Is it, does it make sense? Is it near sensible, either a long or a short, right? Whatever the case may be. And in this scenario, it's actually mostly longs. So we're going to be looking at those first. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the 50-minute crude oil. We're always going to focus on the lower time frames first because they typically are a little bit more active, a little bit faster, and so on. Doesn't mean they're not, the larger time frames are not as valid or anything like that. It's just the 15-minute time frames typically give us, better entries, better. Okay, that's what I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Let's go ahead and take a look at this here. Trading times. All right, looking at bar chart, of course, just take a look and see if we are already on the August, right? CLQ 21. So we're gonna go ahead and take it off. CLU has 52,000 contracts. CLQ has 195. So that's where the volume is. That's where we go. All right, CLQ 21. I'm just going to do at CLQ 21. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get that reset right there and see what we got going on for us. All right, 73.31, 73.33. Look at that. We already have a trade right there at 73.31. So let's go ahead and put that trade in. All right, our stop is going to be right there, right below the 24, so at 23, right here, and right there. So that's already the trade as soon as we open the chart. I just hope it didn't miss us just by a tick. That would be unfortunate. As I was opening the chart, essentially we saw the trade, and that's where it is. It's a small, what's it called? It is definitely not a large risk zone. It should be a quick snap in and out into the what's it called, into a T1 as long as we get filled. So let's see, there we go, we are filled. We're gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of this, print that. All right, do we have it set properly? Yes we do. Okay, sorry about that, I got my camera on this other angle. 2021 06 29, and it's a CL 15-minute setup. I'm gonna go ahead and save that right there. Okay. All right. Let's see what we can do here. If we can get a quick little something on this trade. The UFO is still there. This trade is still valid. Our stop is at 23. Our T1 is at 39. All right. Now something, it's kind of playing in the middle there, so to speak. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna take this opportunity here to go ahead and put up my where we go, the entry point. Right. This is our entry candle. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So this is the amount of time that I'm going to give this trade to work. Should it not work, right? Should it not work, should it not get us that T1, we're going to go ahead and close this trade at market, whether it's a winner or a loser, right? So that's what we're going to do. Oh, one thing we did not do, I can't believe we forgot that. Let me see if anybody in the chat caught it. I'll be very happy if you did. Let's see here. Nobody in the chat caught it. Come on, guys. You gotta stay on top of me here. Let's see. What did we forget? We forgot our T2, right? And our T2 is this opposing UFO on the 50-minute time frame, which is at 73.96. So let's go ahead and put that there. Oh, this it did not. Interesting. No, it should be an exit bracket. 2 limits, 1 stop. I don't know why it 2 limits, 1 stop. All right. Let's cancel all open orders, and let's go ahead and place the OCO. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Let's close that. That's a bummer. I forgot how to place attach the OSO. Okay. Man, it's been a while since this has happened to me. I just need to place the OCO to get me out, but that one is also doing that. So let's close that. Entry, exit. There we go. 2 limits, 1 stop. Place that OCO. There we go. 23.39. And final target was, I think, 73.90. Was it 96 or 98? Now I moved it. 96. All right. So 73.96 is 73.96 right there. All right. Now we actually have a proper setup. We know what our T1, our T2 is, and everything like that. Unfortunately, it's just dancing around our entry. So what we're gonna have to do is we're just gonna have to wait this out, right? We still have another few minutes to figure out how this is gonna work out. In the meantime, the climate just updated. It is still a confirmed up climate, so we're still good to go with this trade. Obviously, you know, we do not have a green UFO to kind of back us up on and give us an extension on this trade, right? For example, if we did have something like this over here, if we did have like a UFO here, you know, I'm just gonna do this with this guy. So if we did, you know, have like a green UFO here still, let's say down below, right? The one that we got us entry on, right? If we still had this, we could have gotten like an extension on this trade, meaning we could have run it for another, you know, sequence like this, right? But unfortunately, we don't have that. So, you know, we're just gonna have to patiently wait for a few more minutes here at 18. So 3 minutes from now is when this candle will open right there. So now we just have 2 more minutes to wait before we close this trade. I typically wait for the close of the 3rd to get me to basically do a time stop trade. I know certain people, you know, as long as this one opens, they just close it right away. So realistically speaking, you're only giving your trade 2 candles instead of 3 if you do that. So that's why I typically just wait for this one to open up and then go ahead and close the trade. Ideally speaking, you know, I would like to see this T1 hit before that. You know, looks like it did. Yep, we did tick to it. So that's it. Our time stop rule is out of the picture. Looks like we got some movement going our way, and look at that, we already have a new UFO form right there. So we're gonna go ahead and move our stop to 27. All right, 27 is now our new stop. Why is that our new stop? Because a new UFO formed right there. Not only 1, but 2. All right. just in case, I just want to be prepared, just in case this runs away from us. Always nice when this happens and instead of the opposite, right? And you know, I'm using the word nice, but you know, trading is trading. It is what it is. Sometimes you get stopped out. Sometimes, you know, it kind of wicks out this way and then moves your way. That's just life. It's always nice when it like kind of jerks into your direction, though. I'll be honest with you. I just want to be ready for the following. Why is it that I can never remember what the freaking trend line is? I rarely have to do this like this. I usually have the hotkey set up. Right, so we had the difference between our entry and our T1 and our stop was 8 ticks, right? We do have a new UFO that formed that's basically giving us a new stop, right? But let's just say, for the sake of argument right now, let's just say, right, that's 47. So another 8 ticks on top would be over here at 55, right? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, right, we have a blasting move all the way to 55, which could happen with crude oil, most definitely, absolutely, 100%. Okay, let's just say something like that were to happen, and we don't get, like, either these UFOs get used up or we don't get a new UFO. We actually will have permission to move our stop over at 73.39. Okay, but since we have new UFOs for now, we're going to keep our stop where it is, right? So just kind of giving you a heads up of what the game plan is ahead of time. All right, let me know if there's any questions. In the meantime, please feel free to type them in. And that's really it for this trade. We're just going to let it do its thing. And, you know, we go from there, basically. Yep, the UFOs are done. We're already set. We're good to go. Let's see if we have any other trades, because at this point, you know, we do have the permission to look for other trades. And right there is our first one, NQ. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So NQ, open up NQ, since we're out of risk on this one and in a most definite profit on the crude oil trade. We're looking to see if we can get in on a trade with the NASDAQ. All right, that's a big, what's it called? That's a big, those are big UFOs right there. So just a little preface to this, you know, definitely if you are gonna take these trades with me, definitely take them with the micros, especially given the size of these UFOs. Obviously, if you have the account and risk tolerance, that's definitely something you can do. But this UFO is actually looking like an entry UFO. So I'm gonna go ahead and enter in right here at 14,504, which looks like it just missed by a tick. All right, and I'm gonna put my stop all the way above 18. Again, this one I'm not even gonna document. I'm just taking this for the heck of it, but that's what this one's gonna look like. So it's a huge zone, right? That's not something you would typically take. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel it. I just, you know what? I don't like too risky of a trade like that. I mean, we're talking close to 8 points on the NQ, right? So that's, you know, 8 points times 20 times 2, so it's a $320 risk trade on 2 contracts. All right, let's take a look and see how our dear friend CL is doing. Okay, it's testing that UFO, nothing to be worried about. So this is what matters, what really matters, right? If this UFO holds, we are in very good hands. That means we might be getting on board to kind of ride this a little bit longer. It's absolutely okay to see this, right? It's retesting that area where we entered, and it's now, you know, reacting off of it. Okay, so that's okay, completely fine. NQ. It's interesting. I mean, that would have been a really nice little snap in and out on the NQ, but I thought my stop would be up here above 1825, but then when I realized that the entry is down here at 03, right, that's 15 points, so that's a bit much. And there we go, more UFOs have formed. You know, would have been great if any of you took this trade. Let me know. I'd be curious to see, you know, to realize the risk appetite for the folks that are with us here. All right. In the meantime, crude oil, there we go, reacting a little bit again. Looks like this is holding nicely. We should want that. We definitely want to see that. Just looking at some price action here, at least on the minute chart, we definitely want to take out this, you know, 73.50 area, 73.47, to be able to move on higher. If it does not, it may just end up retracing down. As you see, the UFOs were both taken out. We're seeing a jolt of movement that way to our way. We definitely want to see it close above. Looks like these, I mean, you can see it right here on at least on this one. The lows are holding, which is what we want to see. A jolt towards the upside, always welcome news. As long as we can take out this little top here, we would be very happy. I just want to see what's going to happen in the next few minutes here. We might get a new UFO, especially if it kind of pops like this again. We're most definitely, I would say, I would be surprised, let's put it that way. I would be surprised if we don't get a UFO and this thing pops a little bit like that. Okay. That's that for this one. NASDAQ is testing that same UFO again. Again, and you see they're all light color, so there's a lot of activity going on there. They've been touched a few times, but nothing for us to do. All right, so we looked at NASDAQ, crude oil. Gold is sensible long, but it is not confirmed. ES is into hopeful territory. Excuse me for just 1 second, folks. All right, sorry about that, folks. I'm back. How we looking over here? Having some work done at the house. The lights flickered a little bit. Just want to make sure that the guy working on the stuff is not, you know, getting hurt or something. All right, so crude oil is still kind of dilly-dallying there, so we're just gonna leave it alone. NASDAQ is testing that area again. The trade from earlier is still valid, right? This is still. It's still an entry to get in here. The reason why I'm skipping on it is because I said the risk is just excessive, and I'm gonna, you know, leave it alone. Let's see in the meantime if we have something else. Okay, so the NASDAQ on the 60-minute is actually giving us the opposite picture, right? Which is, you know, that's not nothing out of the ordinary. Sometimes bigger picture does tell a better story, but you know, when trends do start, they start at the smaller picture. Let's go ahead and open up the NASDAQ on the 60-minute to see what's going on, and then if we have a setup, great. If not, we're gonna go ahead and switch off the public streams and get into our private stream only. So if you've been following along on YouTube or Facebook and you are a member, for example, please definitely switch over to the so you don't get interrupted. Okay. Interestingly enough, almost the same exact UFO is on the 2584 share bar, with 1825 being the top, 1825 being the top. Sometimes that's just how things work. Nothing out of the ordinary there either. No green UFOs though, but we are getting this, pretty big push up. So what I'm kind of curious to see is, as this candle closes, will it eliminate this UFO and create a new one? All right, but as I said, we've kind of reached the bottom of the hour already, and we've already executed one trade and basically almost executed a second trade. And right as I was speaking, there it is, 14,500. So the entry for this one, we're gonna go ahead and discuss in the private stream. Everybody, I will catch you there shortly. I don't want to miss this out. So let's go ahead and basically get ready to get in on this. 14,506. 14,506. All right. Okay. And